Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Making Interstellar Redux. Today we have a big game against Anderlecht in the Champions League. Now, before that, we have to recap everything that's gone on since the last game, which was quite a while ago actually. We've played 10 league games, 2 European games and a cup game since then. So let's have a look at what's gone on since the last result, which was, I believe it's the 5-0 win over PSV, was it? I don't know if I live com that actually. I think I did. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I did. So going out as if I did. We qualified for the Champions League with relative ease. In the 2-0 home win against AA Ghent, we put out a slightly rotated side. Young Hans Gilson, or Goyson, scoring 2 goals actually on his debut for the club. He's a hot prospect. He's not great yet, but scoring 2 goals is very nice to him. Very nice for him. Unfortunately, he has strained his knee ligaments, so he's out for a couple of weeks now. But he had a very good start to his career, scoring 2 goals in Europe. Moving on, for that we had a league game. We faced Sparta, which carried on our fantastic league form. If you can't tell by the green, we've won every single league game so far. So I'll recap them quickly. And what we're going to do this episode, we're going to do something a little bit different, because I haven't done it much in the past. I want to go into like our top 5 performers each episode and have a look at who's playing well, just so you get to know the players a little bit better than you have been. So next up was that 3-0 win against Sparta. Wesley Sneijder getting a goal, with Luke and Joep Smid getting the other 2. We then drew 3-3 away in Belgium against Ghent. They went 1-0 up before Luke equalised. We then went 2-1 up through Wesley Sneijder, but they got a player sent off, then hit back 2 goals in a minute, putting them 3-2 up and putting our position under question. Thankfully, 8 minutes later, Wesley Sneijder scored his second of the game, and that was 3-3 in aggregate, meaning they'd need to score 3 more to put them through, and they were never going to do that with only 25 minutes left. Which put us through and qualified us into a pretty tough group, which we'll have a look at in a moment. So, next up, we had a very tough game. We played FC Utrecht. Beat them 1-0. Robin Van Persie coming off the bench to get that goal there. Luke didn't play especially well, so he did sub on Van Persie. He got his first goal of the season with 10 minutes to go. Nigel de Jong gets sent off just before full time, which was disappointing from him, but it's the kind of player he is. You kind of expect that from him. Next was another big win, a 6-1 victory over FC Dordrecht. 2 goals for, a player I haven't mentioned yet, Ola John. We actually sold Ricardo Kirchner for 15 million to Everton. He was being a complete pain in the arse, causing so much trouble. So we sold him, and I made a bit of a mess up with John. I signed him for 15 million, not realising that I was paying 15 million for a 20% stake in a player. But we got him, and he's been a good player so far. Although it's a little bit disappointing that we only own 20% of him. We will be trying to sort that out at some point. But if we do stay past 1 year, which I'm not planning to, we'll see how it goes. But he's been a very good signing so far. We will look into him more a bit later. But he got 2 goals in this game. His first goals for the club. Alexander Butner got his first goal since signing. Hakim Ziyech scored, and David Klaassen got his first 2 goals for the club since re-signing. Now, Hakim Ziyech is a player I want to talk about quickly. He has had a cap for Morocco. But he has had a cap and a goal for Holland. So he's eligible for Morocco and Holland as it stands. And in terms of if we win the league this year, I'm going to count it as an all-Dutch 11, because he was Dutch when I signed him, and he is still technically Dutch, although he is part Moroccan. So I just wanted to let you guys in on my thinking is behind that. So he does count as a Dutch player in my eyes. You may notice I've actually resigned, or I'm not Holland boss anymore. We played that one game against Cameroon. I wasn't really feeling it, so I just resigned. I just didn't want to take on the extra burden of international football. So it was me who gave Ziyech his Dutch cap. He scored a goal on his debut, but unfortunately he has chosen Morocco as well. We'll have to see how he progresses though, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. But he does count as Dutch in my eyes. I hope you guys agree on that one. Anyway, we followed that 6-1 victory up with a 6-1 away victory over Shakhtar. David Klaassen getting 4 goals, including 2 penalties. Ziyech getting a goal as well, and Sneijder also getting a goal in that one. So a very good result away from home. I always say in Europe, if you draw your away games and win your home games, you're good. We've already got 3 points away from home, so we can afford to slip up in our other 2 away games, which are against Anderlecht and Liverpool. Next up, a 2-0 victory over Helmond Sport. Joel Veltman and Luke getting the goals, not much to say there. a heavily rotated side. Had a bit of a tough time against Willem II in the Dutch Cup. Hans Gilson got his goal there. He actually got injured in that game. Gerard Smid got another goal for himself, and David Klaassen added to his fine goal scoring tally for the season. We conceded 2 late goals, which is a little bit disappointing, but we survived and we came through that one fine. Then we were going to the next round against Excelsior, which is a very cool name for a football team, I reckon. But anyway, next league game, a 4-0 victory against Go Ahead Eagles. Luke getting 2. David Klaassen getting on the score sheet, and Ola John as well. We have got a very, very dangerous attacking quartet this year. Maybe even better than last season's, I don't know. But they seem to be sharing the goals around pretty finely. As is shown in the last game, we actually had 5 goal scorers and a 5-3 home victory over Liverpool in the Champions League. Hakim Ziyech, David Klaassen, Ola John, Luke, and Richardly Bazor getting on the score sheet for us to cancel out Raheem Sterling, Felipe Coutinho's and Carlos Fierro's goals. You may remember I actually played Liverpool in the semi-finals of the Champions League with Inter a couple of seasons ago. So it's nice to see that I've still got the measure of them there. And we got a home victory, which puts us in a very, very strong position in our Champions League group. Today pretty much guarantees qualification, barring a complete breakdown on our part. It's not likely to happen, but you'll see the league table a little bit later. We then followed that up with a very, very impressive victory. A 6-0 victory over AZ Alkmaar. Schneider getting 2 goals, Bazor getting a goal, Ola John, Luke and Robin van Persie getting the other 3. 2 red cards for AZ in that game. And finally, last game I played, a 3-0 victory over NEC. Luke getting 2 goals and an own goal, which could have been Luke's hat-trick, is a header which hit the post, bounced back out, hit the goalkeeper on the back and bounced in. So very unlucky Luke not to get his hat-trick there. And you may also notice, for those of the more observant of you out there, we've only conceded 1 goal in 10 games in the league, which is incredible. The way this is going, we could be on for a clean sweep of Dutch trophies. We could be on for an unbeaten season. I have no idea how we're playing so well or why we're playing so well, but we are. And I'm not going to complain about it one bit, because we could be on for a record-breaking season here in Holland. And that would just be incredible. So anyway, let's check out the competitions tab. As you can see in the league, we're in first position, played 10, won 10, scoring 36, conceding 1, a goal difference of 35, and we're on 30 points. 4 points clear of our closest rivals, PSV Eindhoven, but with a game in hand, because we played that European Super Cup game, and that is against Wally. So it's a game you'd expect us to win, although every game seems to be a game I expect us to win at the moment. And as the board want us to win the league, we're on course to do so. We're also expected to win the Dutch Cup. We're in course to do so as well there. We are only in the 3rd round at the moment, but we're aiming to win that as well. And in the Champions League, we're only expected to reach the first knockout round, but as you can see, we've played 2, won 2. We've beaten the 2 tougher teams in our group, and Electra, a team I'd expect us to beat, but obviously we won't underestimate them at all, because they are a good team. They wouldn't be in the Champions League if they weren't. But after putting 5 past Liverpool and 6 past Shakhtar, I fancy our chances to beat anyone in this group. Anyway, on to the next part of this episode, which I'm going to show you. Just want to sum up some of our key performers so far. We really will stick with the first 4 or 5, and also want to talk to you about the goalkeeper as well. Obviously Ola John's up there. So far he's got an average rating of 8.24 for us, which is absolutely incredible. Since signing, he's got 4 goals in the league, 4 assists in the league, 2 Man of the Match awards. He's got a goal and 2 assists in Europe, and he's just been a fantastic signing to replace Ricardo Kishner, who was being very difficult for us, and he made my life pretty unbearable here. Having a couple of issues with 2 other players because they're unhappy, Ricardo van Rijn and actually Luke. We're hoping they'll ride out their problems and they'll get over them. They seem to be playing through them at least, and as there's not another transfer window for another couple of months, we should be able to hold on for them till the end of the season anyway. So Ola John, he's been fantastic. Another player who's been very good is Alexander Butner, another new signing. He's played 9 league games so far, getting an average rating of 8.54. He's only got 1 goal and 1 assist and 1 Man of the Match awards, but he has been phenomenal. Probably mostly because he's taking our corners for us. I reckon I could switch my corner taker to any player in my team, and he would get a very, very high rating because of the corner tactic which we're using. But still, nevertheless, on his return to Amsterdam, he's making us realise maybe we should never have let him go with his performances so far this year. Next up is a familiar face in Luke. He has 12 goals in 10 league appearances, 2 in 4 in Europe. He hasn't played a cup game yet. Not quite as prolific as last year. Last year he set himself an unbelievable pace and an unbelievable record to beat. He is still averaging over a goal a game, which is phenomenal for any striker in any league. Although last season he was averaging slightly higher, but I'm still impressed with him. He's still averaging over a goal a game, and if he can do that throughout this season, he's on course for a record-breaking year. He's already bettered his assist total this year. He's got 4 assists as opposed to 2 last year. And he's on an 8.03 average rating, so he has been a very good player for us, despite him being unhappy. We sold Sylvan Widmer, he was unhappy at that, and he also thought Van Rijn should be allowed to leave the club, and he's unhappy I didn't let him go. So, a little bit strange, his reasons for being unhappy, but we're hoping he'll get over him. As you can see, when we go back to the next screen, his morale is very poor, but it keeps sort of fluctuating between that and fairly good. Next up is a strange player to be up there. He's only young still, but it's Abdelak Nouri. He's kind of a fringe player, but because of injuries to people like Klaassen, he played a little bit. He played there when on the left wing when Kishner was injured. He's had a lot of football for us. He's played 4 times in the league with 2 substitute appearances, getting 8 goals, and is actually leading in the Eredivisie in terms of assists. And averaging a 7.72 average rating in the league and an 8.07 in Europe, which is very, very good. A player to keep an eye on. He's not great yet. Apparently he's a leading player for Eredivisie sides, but in terms of outscored, he's not there yet. But he will be a very, very good player in the future, and one we want to keep around if we are here long term at Ajax. Now, the last player, I'm going to ignore Klaassen for now. As you can see, he scored 9 in 8 starts, 3 assists in that, because I don't really feel I need to talk about everybody. The only last player I want to talk about is Mickey van der Hart. He's our first team goalkeeper now. He's only conceded 1 goal and he's got 9 assists, which is brilliant. I think any record like that is phenomenal, as you would agree. As he conceded 27 and 28 for Anderlecht next year, he's going to be playing his former club in the next game. He's been good. He has his ropey moments, but he seems to get away with them. But I'm very happy with him as a goalkeeper, and although we paid 7.5 million, I'm a little bit disappointed his value's gone down. But he is a fantastic goalkeeper for the league we're in, and he's not causing a scene either. He's just happy being where he is and enjoying his football, which I like to see. But anyway, into the first game of this episode, well, the only game of this episode. We're playing Anderlecht in the Champions League at home. We've got one change to make. We're going to be dropping Schmid and bringing back in Ola John. He's a little bit low on fitness. He has had a slight knock, but we're going to risk him anyway because it's a big game. We win this, it puts us on 9 points, 6 points clear of Anderlecht. Now, the back line is formed of Alexander Butner, Bazor, Van Rijn and Verheij. Unfortunately, Joel Veltman is out injured. He had what did he have? He had a hernia, so he was out for about 4 or 5 weeks. He is coming back soon, but the defence hasn't suffered as a result of him being gone. Verheij has stepped in very well, and as you can see by his last 5 games, he's got a 7.46 average rating. But anyway, let's get into this game, and we will hope for a very good performance and a victory against Anderlecht here. We are odds-on favourites, 1-6 favourites. Our key man is apparently Ola John. Their key man is Titon, their goalkeeper, Polish international. Obviously, their replacement for Van der Hart. So we'll be looking for a good performance from Van der Hart here, just to prove a point that they shouldn't have let him go so easily. Now, I think the only name I recognise is Van Aanholt, but it's not the Van Aanholt I'm thinking, but he is being played slightly out of position regardless. Obviously, I don't think they have. Is it Mitrovic they have at the beginning of the game? They don't have him anymore, and I don't really recognise any of their players. So I'm hoping we can outclass this lot. So let's try and get the players as motivated as possible. Obviously, Van Rijn has been ignoring my team talks all since he became unhappy. So has Luke, but as long as they continue to play well, I do not care. Now, as it stands, the league, this group is set up with us on top, Liverpool in second, Anderlecht in third, and Shakhtar down at the bottom. And I'm hoping Shakhtar can get a result against Liverpool, and we can get a good result here, just to make everyone else inconsistent, and top spot pretty much ours. But anyway, early chances here. Van Rijn has missed the ball, but he's played it back to Van der Hart well, who has done a poor ball there. Ola John was caught napping by their attacker, and we don't seem to be able to get the ball from at the moment. Petkovic here, Manu, Go look for the pass, and it's blocked well by Van Rijn, and that was a clear-cut chance for Anderlecht. Not what I wanted to see. Bazoer clears well. He has adapted very well, Bazoer, to that centre-back role. I know some of you may have been dubious of me putting him there, but he has been phenomenal. As you can see, we've only conceded 1 goal in the league so far. But 20 minutes gone, not much happening yet, but we'll see if we can get a chance from this. Ziyech here, goes past one, plays it to Luke, who scores. Luke is unbelievably clinical, and we're 1-0 up in this one. 22 minutes gone. Liverpool are leading against Shakhtar. I think so. It looks like, as it stands, it's going to be a competition between us and Liverpool for top spot in this group. Luke finishes well. Titon should do better. He should be saving that, but the shot just had too much for him there. And we are 1-0 up on the night. Butner here with the corner. Ola John. Luke. Oh, feel like he let that go through him a little bit. De Jong to Schneider. Van Rijn to Klaassen. What can he do here? Can he produce a bit of magic? He can. Oh, he's been saved, and we are dominating at the moment. Our midfield duo, very experienced midfield duo of Nigel de Jong and Wesley Sneijder, has been fantastic. Bringing 2 Ajax players back to Ajax has proved a very, very... we've done it with a few players, brought them back to the club. Butner, Sneijder, de Jong, Klaassen, all coming back to the team. Van der Hart as well, and they've done very well. Let's just keep... and they've scraped an equaliser there. That is very disappointing. And it does stand. And we have conceded. We're right on the brink of half-time. It's a very undeserved goal there for Anderlecht. I'm going to tell them they haven't been good enough. Try and get them fired up. And it's working to a certain extent. It's disappointing. And as you may notice, I've actually got the official Eredivisie football rights logo up there. The Champions League provider for teams in Holland is Sport 1. But it doesn't seem to stay there at half-time or everything. So it always switches back to the default, which is frustrating. But Sneijder here to Klaassen should score. And we are faltering a little bit here at home to Anderlecht. Might have to make a change. Bazoer, after I praise him, has been poor. But Verhaeghe here to Klaassen. Back to Verhaeghe. Into Sneijder. Can he find the good ball? Ziyech. John scores. 2-1. And we're back in front. Back on 9 points in the league. No, in Group A. And let's keep the lead this time, lads. I won't be impressed if we concede another one to this Anderlecht side. They're a poor Anderlecht side. But a lovely back heel from Ziyech, and John, should I say, gets the goal which puts us ahead. Bazoer has improved in this game, which is nice to see. Sneijder here with the free kick to Van Rijn. Into Klaassen. Plays it out to Verhaeghe. Down to Klaassen again. Back to the right back. Back to Klaassen. And he hits the post. That's the second time we've hit the post now in this game. Butner, back to Klaassen, into Ziyech, blocked shot. Sneijder, can he retrieve that? He can, but he's played it straight out, which is poor from Sneijder. And his low fitness may be contributing to his laziness or his lacklustre passing there. But we'll see how he goes. We'll sub him off eventually. Ola John's looking a little bit worse for wear as well, but we did expect that considering he's just come back from injury. So going to bring on Nuri, and we're also going to bring on Carl Ebechilo for Sneijder. We've got another chance here. Ziyech to Klaassen, down to Verhaeghe. Can he get a good ball in? No, he plays it back to Klaassen. He seems to be doing it a lot, and we've lost the ball here. And Anderlecht are going to look to break. Do not concede now, lads. I'll be very unhappy. They've got men over. Najar, Van der Hart saves. Very, very concerning, that. We're going to keep the last sub on calling just in case of a red card or an injury. Klaassen now to Ebechilo. Back to Klaassen, get the good cross in. Butner! 3-1. Don't know what Butner's doing in the 6-yard box there. Great assist, great finish, and that should end any chances of an Anderlecht fight back here. A lovely dinked cross in. Butner playing like a striker there. Don't know where Luke is, but Butner's showing him how to do his job there. And we have got the goal, which puts us ahead in this one. We're going to make one more change. I'm going to swap the midfield around. I'm going to bring on Verhaeghe just to freshen up at the middle of the park a little bit before the end of the game. But looks like it's another chance here. Shakhtar have equalised against Liverpool. Luke running out the defence. He gets tackled by Leerdam. Petkovic. Bichilo intercepts that one to Ziyech. To Klaassen, who's been unlucky not to score today. Back to Verhaeghe. He loses out to Van Aanholt. He's been good this game. And what a recovery by Bazoer there. And they've hit the post. worrying signs there. But thankfully, we've seen the game through. A fantastic 3-1 home win puts us in a very strong performance as Liverpool drop points in Donetsk. And we are on course to finish top of this group and proceed into the next round with relative ease. Played 3-1 through. We haven't kept a clean sheet in Europe yet, but we're doing very, very well. Jordi Clasie, man of the match. It's not Jordi Clasie, it's Davy Clasie, I believe. But Liverpool dropping points in against a 10-man Shakhtar side there, which is very poor, you must say. You'd expect better from Liverpool. 2 times Premier League champions since this save has begun. So yeah, there's a confirmation of the result. A 3-1 victory. Great results. Great result there. Great display by Ajax. Who do we face in the next episode? That is the question. Obviously, with the league hotting up and the teams around us in the league, PSV, FC Twente, and Feyenoord, all contenders to the title. Feyenoord to a lesser extent. So the next game we're actually going to be doing is the FC Twente game away from home in the Eredivisie, because I feel like that's going to be a tough game and a game that we could slip up in. FC Twente are a very good side and they are currently 3rd in the league. So yes, as always boys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe as well. That helps me out a whole lot. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter, and I will catch you all next time for a trip to FC Twente, where we hope that we've still got a 100% record in the league and we're one step closer to qualifying in the Champions League. Ta-ra.